Alrighty, this is going to be kind of cursed because I had to turn off the noise cancellation. Okay. This is like try number 12 at this point.
Try number too many.
Yeah, literally. And look at that, it's actually picking up now. So I had to turn off the noise cancellation stuff that I usually use. But I've got a guest today, which, I don't know, maybe our voices are like too different. And so it was like, no,
that's not
that's not your voice.
You're lying.
So like, it's just going to have to be how it is. So, yeah, so the weather today, I feel like I've done this before. The weather today is it's kind of nice. It's like 60, but when the sun's out, it's really nice. And when the sun goes behind a cloud, it's like not as nice. It's like whatever. It's very like okay weather. I took off my sweatshirt for a bit. I might put it back on. Devon just put back on his.
I was gonna say I just put mine back on.
But speaking of Devon,
hello.
If you like.
All right. So yeah, it's the guest star episode, and I'm guest star number 1. ToonD3 on Twitch. Just kidding. It's me. It's Devon. Friend of Simon and co-star of Shenanigans and Tomfoolery. I ran out of things to introduce myself. Simon is putting on his sweatshirt. It has gotten too cold. The sun's been away for too long.
It's cold now.
It's cold again.
It's cold now.
Unfortunate.
So, the plan for today is I've prepared 3 questions specifically for Devon, and then 3 questions that we kind of did this together, but we got 3 questions that both of us can answer, and we're going to kind of go through them. And that's kind of the whole plan. That's all I got. And then we're going to talk about what I'm going to have for dinner. Maybe Devon's going to talk about what he's going to have for dinner. I don't know. We haven't decided yet.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll decide on the fly. So, first and foremost, we'll start off with a question that both of us can answer. Favorite anime and or manga? Devon, what you got?
All right. So, when I thought of, what I would talk about on a simmyPODCAST, this came to mind pretty much immediately because we have very different taste. The main thing that I read and or watch is a lot of shonen battle manga, and Simon thinks that's major cringe, and quite frankly, so do I, because most of it is power of friendship and whatnot. And the big one is we have very differentiating opinions on One Piece. The cultural phenomenon, or whatever we want to refer to it as. Which I've read all of it.
I would not call it that at all.
A cultural phenomenon? You wouldn't?
Cultural moment, maybe.
Cultural moment?
Phenomenon seems much.
A lot of people read One Piece. And this is where we mostly get into disagreement of is it good? Is it worth the read?
No.
And I think if you enjoy shonen battle manga in general, you're gonna have a good time reading it. Is it a good piece of fiction that you should recommend to everyone? Absolutely not. Not even close. Would I recommend my parents One Piece? No. Did I have them watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? Yes.
Based.
Yeah, that was a really fun arc. I also refer to things as arcs because I read too much manga.
Rough.
Right? But overall, I would say
I didn't literally last episode.
True. You did do that. But I would say overall, in my opinion, I have 2 main ones that I refer to as my favorite of all time. And in terms of anime, I would give it up to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood because it has everything. It checks all of the boxes of good. It's got good character writing, it's got good animation, very few filler episodes, except for the first one, which, immediate L, but then it fixed itself. And it misses out on some of the side stories from the original 2003 version. But overall, very good. I would say, in terms of manga, I would give it up to either Hunter x Hunter or Haikyuu, because they have more of their stuff. Giving the edge probably to Haikyuu, because it's finished. Togashi, please. Oh my god. Just either give it to someone else to just tell the story, because I want to know what happens so bad. Please, oh my god. Anyway, Simon, we're gonna talk about your opinions now.
Oh, my opinions are bad though. So what is it? My big one is for manga anyway. Is the one that I always give is Yumakai Mary or Dream Eater Mary. But the problem with it is that first off, it's insane. To try to describe it to someone, there's no easy way to describe it. And then the other thing is that the first 18 or so chapters are noticeably worse than all of the rest of the chapters. Like chapter 19 and 20, like it suddenly jumps up like in terms of art and like how the guy's actually just structuring the story. Like everything just improves aggressively. Like probably like if by number value, like if I gave it number values, like the first chapters are like a 6 out of 10. They're like manageable, but like
very it has a solid setup, but doesn't look like it's going to pan out for a long period of time. And then you hit like 1920 and really kick off that like first major arc.
And it's like, whoa, hey,
and
okay.
It's like, oh my god, this guy knows how to tell a story.
It's like, whoa, there's a story here. Holy moly, I didn't realize that. Which is why I'm always like, if you think that the premise sounds interesting, try to get through the first 20 chapters because it really kind of hooks you there, which is a really late hook. And so I understand when people don't really like it.
Hey man, One Piece, like, depending on the person, it either hooks you at like chapter 175 or like 300.
Which is stupid.
It is. Like, and the main reason I chose to like read it and stick with it for as long as I did was mostly because I had a ton of free time on my hands, like at work, where I just sat there and did nothing. And I was like, okay, I can probably crunch through this. And I did. I just literally just brute forced through it. And like obviously notable downtime. I didn't actually like hate Thriller Bark as much as a lot of people did, probably because I wasn't reading it weekly. But oh my god, like Fishman Island slowed me down by like 6 months in reading One Piece. I don't like that arc at all, and I don't think it's possible to redeem it. Unlike old arcs like Skypiea and Thriller Bark, which now have more value to them. I could talk about One Piece for a long time because I've read all of it and I have a lot of opinions on it that differentiate from the public of a lot of like One Piece fans. It's an interesting topic, but like I said, I don't think it's my favorite. It has a lot of problems that other things don't have, like Full Metal Alchemist or like differentiating from my majority of opinions. Haikyuu, a sports manga, is just very good, and I really like the character writing. Also, it looks really cool. Like,
sure
Haikyuu to the top, very good animation.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I still want Simon to read or watch it because it's good.
I don't know.
Also, the movie's coming out. Another, just like, please, just bring it to the United States. I want to watch Battle of the Garbage Dump so bad, and it's just not in the States yet. Please.
L. No, but what was I talking about? Oh, Yumakai Mary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the, what is it? Because like the first 20 chapter or the first 18-ish chapters is a rough. So like I understand when people don't get through it, but like the second it hooks you,
once it hooks you,
it really
like,
hooks you.
It does go.
It just hooks you, and it just goes hard, and it's just like fun. It's basically like 2 arcs. I call it usually 2.5 arcs because the second arc is long and you can kind of split it up into 2 sections. But it's basically just like a 2.5 arc manga. It's like what 140 chapters, 142 or 139 or something. It's like very short for what it is, and it's just like a good fun time. 10 out of 10. Probably not a 10 out of 10 because the beginning is kind of rough, but 10 out of 10 to me.
Yeah.
So I don't care. Screw you.
Like honestly, for the parts that I read, it was a solid like 8 to 9. Like I went up through the first arc that Simon's talking about, which ends around chapter 50 to 55.
Yeah, around there.
And that first like major arc and major like villain fight
Banger.
is like it goes crazy.
Banger.
Like it's a very solid arc that could like honestly be very self-contained if they wanted it to be. Imagine if they just did that as like an arc for the anime
straight up.
instead of, like,
Well, yeah.
going
Also,
off.
the anime. Like side note, the anime for Yumakai Mary is very bad. It only does like the first like 11 chapters, and then like does its own anime original ending. And to be fair, there were like 30 or 40 chapters out at the time, like when they did it, which was just a weird choice.
Like I don't know how they got picked up for an anime after like because they would have had to start animating at like what chapter like 18, 19?
Yeah, like I don't know. It's very weird.
Like that's a weird spark to pick it up.
It is just a weird one, but it's just I don't know. It's very good. It's what is it? If I had to describe it in the simplest ways, though, it's basically it's an urban fantasy dream manga is like.
I guess that would
it's like,
sum up all the elements.
It's like all the elements where basically there's dream people that came across from the dream world, and then funny shenanigans happen, and the dream people have to be sent back because the dream people in the real world can't be that. That's no good.
Yeah.
And then it expands on it a lot, and it takes it in very interesting directions, but a lot of that's like fun stuff to read, and I don't want to explain it.
That's fair.
Like,
'Cause
I
feel
know,
like part of the enjoyment of it is like getting to figure out what is actually happening.
Yeah, it's like what literally, because the other thing is like the other tag that goes along with it, which I can understand people not liking, is like amnesia, where like the main character and like the general main cast of characters doesn't know what's going on as well. So it can seem very frustrating because of the way that it's done, but I think it's done in a very good way. I think they use it actually well, you know?
Yeah.
And then for anime, also one that people drop a lot, because I think I just have brain worms, is
Probably, yeah.
my almost definitely my favorite anime is Violet Evergarden, which is essentially, honestly it is. It is my. I know you're surprised by this. Wait, what?
Well, because when you were leading off, like, this is something that a lot of people like drop. I was thinking like, what is he gonna choose? Some like one of the weird ones that we like joke about constantly, but also like. Because I've also seen all of Violet Evergarden, and I have very high opinions of. Like, it was very solidly written. It's not my thing, because I brain rot
it's so my thing.
like.
I'm all the way there.
It was very good. Like, I enjoyed every step of the way. I just don't read a lot of like
Drama.
Drama.
Drama's like I wouldn't even call it psychological. It's mostly just drama.
Like, the biggest psychological or like drama things that I read are like the Kamo Medai game for Haikyuu, or like the final battle between Pito and Gon in Hunter x Hunter. Like, very emotional moments.
But amidst all
like,
the other stuff.
But in comparison to like Violet Evergarden's like drama and like PTSD and all the other stuff that's going on there, not even close.
Literally.
Emotional value.
No, that's the thing, is like it's just the emotional value. I mean, I think the main reason that it holds such a spot in my like heart, to not sound it too insane, but like it actually, I think it genuinely does, because when I watched it was a very strange part of my life, and also when I watched it, it was like maybe the 5th anime I watched.
Ooh,
and it like literally actually destroyed me, and I cried probably the last 4 episodes straight, and I hadn't cried in probably like 4 years. Because like high school moment, and it was like, I think it must have been like between senior year of high school and like college, or it would have been like this. I think it was like the winter or late winter of my senior year, and I think I straight up just cried for like an hour watching the end of of episode like 10 or so up through the end.
Yeah.
I just cried the entire
bad.
time. Like it had such a, like, I was hooked from episode 1. I know people like will watch like 3 episodes and then like drop it because they're like, it's slow, it's whatever. I've kind of understood the point. But like I was hooked from episode 1, and like it just slowly built into such the emotional hit of like those last few episodes. Like straight up, I told Devon this earlier actually, but like hearing the music from Violet Evergarden will usually make me tear up. Like just straight up. Like bar none. Like I will just feel, I just feel all those emotions again. And it's kind of terrifying, but also like crazy how good it was. And then the joke answer, of course, is my favorite anime is Infinite Stratos.
That's the
gang,
one that I was
baby.
thinking of. Yeah, like,
Infinite Stratos season 1 dubbed. Bar none, bro. I've rewatched it probably like 8 times, which isn't even a good thing because it's so bad. It's so bad, but it's so good. Who cares? Who cares about dog crap, borderline racist?
What do you mean borderline?
Borderline racist accents, weird harem anime with mechs.
Yeah,
I don't care.
weird.
It's kind of epic though. It's kind of peak, dude. They gave the tomboy twin tails. Who does that?
Yeah, that's insane.
That's crazy.
That one was insane.
They made some. Also, the funniest part of that entire bit, which I'm not going to explain, because it's just like another member of the harem. Who cares?
Right.
But they put her in the other class, which is even funnier. They put the tomboy with twin tails, crazy character choice, put her in the other class to give her reason to fight for time with the main character. Crazy. Well thought out. Why? Why did they think it out so much? I'm so confused.
Like it's a magical high school harem anime, and they're like, but there's got to be plot progression.
Yeah, literally. They were like, but they're like, but what about the plot? And they were like, plot? For real? Okay.
All right.
Sure. Why not? No, but
Just
like,
wild.
like it's just such a crazy choice to do. I'm just so stunned.
Yeah.
Also, but it's like not very good. But like,
It's also just generally bad.
it's also like generally bad. But like, also, it's like kind of good though. Is that kind of good?
They have elements that they've like tossed in there. They're like, oh, this could cook.
This could cook though, for real.
But then they're like, yeah, but the main premise is still titties.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that is still the focus here.
Yeah, and then like I think the biggest issue of all is just like the thing is I could never actually truly sell it because like when I like list like top like tags that I hate,
Right.
it's like isekai, magical school, harem.
Yeah.
And it's 2 of them.
Yeah, right?
It's like I don't know why I like it, man. It's just funny. But yeah, that's the thing. All right, you want to do?
I guess we have to move on to an actually serious question now that we've ranted about anime or manga for long enough.
All right, Devon. Here's the big one. Here's this one and the third one are my big questions.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
I would
real.
say so. Yeah.
So here's the first one, and it is ToonD3.
Right.
What happened to streamer?
What happened to streamer? It's such a loaded question. Not really. What happened for a while? I was starting a new job, and I did not want to fully overload myself with learning a new job and getting to know the field that I was in, and also like come home and dedicate myself to streaming like as many hours as I was before I started the job. But also, it was winter. And I didn't want, like, I had zero motivation to do literally anything. It was rough. I had the idea of, like, hey, I want to continue doing this and, like, keep creating all these things. But for one, I hate editing. I tried it, and I tried to make
It's so hard to make editing fun. It's like, like, if you're not an editor, it's so genuinely hard to make editing fun.
Right.
It's so...
And, like, especially because I'm, like, looking at this and I'm like, okay, I have the idea. I know where I want this video to go. I, one, didn't have the technical skill to make a video of high enough quality that it would satisfy myself. But also, it was so boring. And I couldn't do it. Like, I could not bring it myself to it to continue to, like, edit it and actually release content. Which made it so, like, man, I'm doing all these streams, and I don't have the videos to, like, pump out into YouTube to really, like, boost algorithm and do all that stuff, which is really cutting, like, the potential of growth, which made it hard to be like, well, eventually someone's gonna show up. Eventually people will, like, stumble upon the stream that I, like, it was, like, 6 to 10 weekdays, and then occasionally the fun weekend stream, which, like, that's when everyone streams on the East. Like, that's very common time frame that I'd have to compete for, which didn't really work out in my favor. And I genuinely would love to do more streams and, like, go back to doing, like, Master Duel Mondays, play more, especially when that, like, Hunter x Hunter fighting game comes out. I want to, like, dive full into that game for an extended period of time.
Devon, you have to bring back Master Duel Monday. Otherwise, how the heck am I gonna get into the Twitch top 1% of
Master
Duel viewers again? I don't even know what happens in Master Duel. I just show up. I think it's so funny.
Yeah, so Simon was my moderator, but also my most consistent viewer.
Moderator's a stretch. I would show up and then, like, blast you.
Yeah, real. I just gave him the tag because I thought it'd be funny.
Common D3L.
Common D3L.
Probably my most chatted message.
Probably, honestly. Probably the most common message in the entire chat, actually.
Potentially.
Which is hilarious. But yeah, I genuinely enjoyed streaming. It just went through winter. Fucked me over mentally, and apologies for being explicit.
It's okay. I tag all my episodes as explicit because I can never remember if I swear, but I assume that I did.
Yeah.
Like one.
But yeah, that's basically where we were at. Going into the spring and in the summer, I will do my best to
Let's go.
make more streams, especially Master Duel Monday. That was such like a brain off. I get to enjoy playing Master Duel, which I do enjoy to an extent. Snake Eye format, die in a hole.
It's nice.
They like randomly introduce like a tier 1 strategy months in advance.
Cringe.
Like, which doesn't make sense, like, out of context. But for those viewers at home, they basically, I don't even know how to describe this to, like, non-card game or other players. But, like, imagine they introduce a really strong strategy that competes with other strong strategies 6 months down the line that we know is going to come eventually. And they're like, instead of doing that where it's like a balanced format, we're just going to pluck it and put it into a much lower power format where it just dominates and it's not worth playing anything else. And even in where it's coming from, like in the equaler power format, it's already tier 1, and now it's going into uncontested best deck, you shouldn't be playing anything else status, which is very boring, and I don't enjoy when they do that.
Yeah.
Common Yu-Gi-Oh problem, honestly, which if I'm ever back on the pod and I need to talk about something, I could probably rant about that for a while.
just Yu-Gi-Oh moment.
Yu-Gi-Oh moment of why it's a problem. And we might get back to it later, honestly, because I think there are some questions in here that we need to talk about.
There are going to be questions. You almost definitely will be back on your bullshit.
Yeah, I will be back on my bullshit because I have a lot of it.
Do you have a lot?
I have a ton of bullshit that I could talk about.
In storage?
Yeah, always in the chamber of like things I could talk about.
All right, Devon. Do you want to talk about your superpower first, or do you want me to do mine?
I think I will introduce the question, and then
Okay,
you can talk about yours first, because I did mine first for anime.
I got you.
So our second dipshit question that's just generally nothing. Another standard of a podcast and general interview. What superpower would you want to have, and why?
And why? Man, I didn't think the and why through. I just think it's funny.
Well, elaborate.
I just think the funniest superpower that I can think of is, and the one that I would want, because like there's like the common answers that are like flight or like I don't know, strength. I don't know, the boring ones, and like.
Okay, side tangent that I like wanted to talk about for so long.
No, you can talk about it during your section because it makes sense for yours. I already know what your answer is. So no, mine is straight up just becoming Beast Boy from Teen Titans.
That goes so
hard. Because
hard.
it's so funny. Like, especially because he can turn into like dinosaurs and shit. It's just the funniest like possible thing. But also has like actually like vague use cases where it's like, oh, I need to be strong, gorilla time. Or it's like, oh, I gotta fit in a pipe because I gotta go fix something. It's like, oh, snake moment. And it's just like, it's like an actually useful one, but you can also like do bits with it, which just makes it infinitely better. Because it's like, oh, can you reach that? And it's like, I could just reach it. Or, hear me out, giraffe moment, but purely just to get something that I could have reached anyway. Or it's like, oh no, I can't find like whatever. And it's like, oh, bloodhound moment. Like, just like go, like truly just use it as like a bit maker. Because it'd be so funny.
That'd be the easiest bit maker.
It's so good. Also, like, anytime I need a joke and I know one will land, just dinosaur, like T-Rex, try to clap hands. Comedy every time. Literally. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Huh? You're gonna not laugh? I'm a dinosaur right now, bro. I'm a T-Rex right now trying to clap. If you're not laughing, I'm eating you. Like, oh no, I'm a fucking T-Rex.
No, my joke missed. Oh,
it's just like, what are you gonna do?
That's so
like
insane.
Literally, it's like the easiest win all time.
That is a very easy win.
It's so good.
Comedy win.
It's just so good. What are you gonna do? Not do that?
Honestly, I have no idea. So I have a couple things that I'll get into before mine, because I have two tangents that I now have thought of.
Oh,
and
nice.
one is related to yours of like a bit maker.
Yeah.
And my roommate, we're gonna call him Logan because that's his name.
That's so funny.
But his whole his superpower that he like harps on every single time he's been asked this question is the ability to make any noise on command. And his example is always, you know, the sound like of a dodgeball hitting someone in the face, like that dunk, like that. He wants to be able to do that, but with like the rubberness of it, like on command.
That's such a weird one.
And his second follow-up, equally schizophrenic, is the hallway music from Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Like, it's dodgeball, Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Wild that those are his examples, but also it fits him very perfectly. Of just like making random noises.
It's like, what does he have to do with his mouth?
Bird.
No.
Never actually elaborated, but I assume so.
Okay, I was like, if you can do that, just like you can just emanate a sound on command, insane.
That is cracked.
Insane, just like crazy power. But like,
it's like that one clip of the kid who can make like the fire alarm like low battery noise on command and just does it during tests. Cracked.
Crazy.
But also, like, so whenever someone's like, hey, okay, what would be your, like, dream superpower, and don't list one of the common ones, like flight or super strength. Who chooses super strength? Like, genuinely. Like, this comes up with, like, oh, the super common, like, superpowers. Like, I want to be strong. Like, no one says that.
No
one actually wants super strength because it's so boring. Like, pick up Big Rock. Like, what are you... You're an accountant.
Gorilla time, bro.
Like,
gorilla time.
Like, yeah, do, like, the Beast Boy thing. That would be so cool. But, like, I've always thought about that. Of, like, who actually, like, chooses super strength? If you would choose super strength as your superpower, let us know in the comments.
You're really banking on these comments being poppin'. Usually I know. One.
Honestly, the one that from last time isn't even here because we didn't do the hedgehog bit.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe we'll talk about that another time.
That hedgehog.
But anyways, that was crazy.
The hedgehog was on something for real.
Basically, I think my superpower is very easily teleportation because one. You can do bits with it. You can do bits with teleportation.
You could do bits.
And if ever when someone's like, okay, don't make it basic, then I immediately turn to, and Simon's going to hate me for this, it's a Naruto reference of taking Obito's Mangekyo Sharingan ability, the Kamui, where he both can pass through things at will by teleporting parts of his body into his pocket dimension.
That's so...
So, like, if someone tries to punch him, he teleports his face away. But it looks seamless, so as if they're passing through him. And I think that's a very silly bit. And it's also kind of implied that he can use that pocket dimension to teleport places. And I'm like, okay, that's a much cooler version of teleportation because you also get a pocket dimension.
Yeah, that is cooler.
Right? And that's just dope.
That is dope.
Because pocket dimension goes crazy.
That does.
Straight up, it is one of the coolest things in fiction, and I love it every time it comes up.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to rescind the every time most of the time.
Yeah.
There are some that are kind of cringe. Like, I recently watched all of Black Clover, and the Weird Dream one, kind of mid, honestly. It was pretty mid.
But, speaking of dreams, though, honestly, if I almost want to change my power now.
Oh?
Because you reminded me of, by saying dreams in context with powers,
right.
All I can think of now is Yumakai Mary, right? And I'm like, because pocket dimension, right?
Right.
All of the dream demons, they're called dream demons. It doesn't matter. They all have what's called their yard, which basically like they pull people into their dream world that they control, and they get to do their bits and stuff. It's not actually a bit. They usually kill people or whatever. But not the point. One of them, called John Doe, who is also known as the Chaser, he's a cat, but his literal main ability is just summoning cat people, which is also a hilarious bit.
That is like...
And also, he's so cool.
He's so cool.
He's so cool. He has a weapon that makes no sense. It's like a small mini guillotine with spikes on the side as a sword. What?
Like, the guillotine doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything.
It's just a sword.
It's just a sword, but like spiky, and also it has a guillotine in the middle for just flair.
Yeah.
That's so big.
So dope.
And then he summons cats that have... None of them have swords. They all have guns.
Yeah.
They all have like snipers or pistols and stuff. Like...
So, like, and obviously the immediate implication is, like, oh, it'd be very funny to just be able to, like, one, instantly teleport to your own little pocket dimension, and then instantly summon, like, cat people.
Because it's funny.
And, like, all the people who are, like, oh, anime fan want to summon cat people, they're not, like, huge titty. It, like, they're sniper rifles. Like, that's the whole bit.
The whole bit is, like...
They just have guns.
They have gun. It'd be so funny, though. It'd be so funny.
It would be really funny.
Honestly,
but I think Beast Boy is
No,
cooler.
Beast Boy is definitely like the better power, but like John Doe, top 2 characters that I would love to meet all time.
Honestly,
straight up, like, might be top 2.
I don't think he's top 2 for me, just because there are a lot of characters that like, God, he would be a cool person to talk to.
Yeah.
But he's cool.
He's
so cool
to be in the presence of. Oh my God, it'd be so awesome.
Also, the amount of, like, comedy that happens of, like... Because there's times where he's just a cat and other times where he's a cat person.
Yeah.
And the switching between them, hilarious every time.
Literally so funny. Peak. Love that guy. All right, you want to go...
Now we have to switch back into a, I would say, semi-serious question.
Yeah, it's a semi-serious question. All right, question for you, Devon. Here's the skinny dude. Would you buy a house with me for real? Like, for real? Would you actually buy a house with me? Come on.
So let's talk about it, right? So me and Simon for the past like year and a half have had this like idea of like, well, the housing market sucks.
It's bad.
And
bad.
renting sucks.
It does.
Renting is not fun. Having to like allocate your living to someone else. But also, both of us are in very early stages of our career. Like, I started working where I am now in November, and it is currently middle of March.
Yeah, and I mean, I only started in August.
Yeah,
So, like,
right. So, like,
not much.
very early on in our careers. So, one, neither of us have a lot of money, but also...
Understatement.
Right.
Understatement on the amount of money.
But also the idea of buying a house is a very permanent situation because it's not like, well, now that we've done this for 5 years, we can go switch to another house where we can, like, either be, like, independent or whatnot. Like, buying a house involves buying a mortgage, which, like, whenever you think of mortgage, it's like a 30-year or, like, at minimum 15-year commitment, which is a lot.
Can I side tangent for a moment?
Yeah, absolutely.
There was I get stupid. I look at my Google recommended articles all the time because I think it's funny, and I've clicked on too many finance ones. So every now and then I'll get the Dave Ramsey like Yahoo Finance ones, and there was one where it was the title of it was just like Dave Ramsey says that you shouldn't buy a house unless you can afford the 15-year mortgage. Millennials aren't happy or something like that, and I was like, a 15-year mortgage is crazy, genuinely crazy, even if the housing market was good.
Yeah.
That's insane. To be that good on your finances, to be able to afford a 15-year mortgage, nuts.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
also Gen
crazy.
Z, so get fricked, stupid article.
I was going to say.
I'm not a millennial.
So, like, obviously millennials are crying and have
That's
been
true.
for way too long for literally everything. And this isn't a shot at millennials. Do what you want. It's mostly not their fault.
It's really not.
Like, the financial situation of the world is not their fault, and neither is, like, the economic. Economic's the same thing. I meant ecological or
Yeah, they've
environmental
been,
situation.
They've been given a bad hand, and they've chosen to just try to head down, get through it, and it just...
Honestly, they've been dealt, like, the worst hand, like,
Potentially,
3
yeah.
times in a row, and they kind of have just been like, yeah, I'm gonna fold and, like, just eat the...
Yeah, I'm gonna
the
fold
big-
and eat shit.
Like,
And
I'm just
like,
gonna
I
fold,
guess.
because...
What am I gonna do?
And, like, people after them are like, well, I kind of have to play,
You're-
but also I have 0 chips. And this is a weird poker
It's a
analogy.
weird poker analogy right now.
But, like,
Yeah.
it's just rough,
It
because
is
the
just
people
rough.
with all the chips left the table to continue the poker analogy.
Yeah, they just kind of left, and now we're just like,
Well,
now what?
which is rough.
It is rough.
It's rough. And
Yeah.
that's where I've mostly come into the conclusion of, like, I am in a technically stable renting situation with me and my 2 roommates. Technically 2 roommates. We'll get to that on another day.
I always forget that you have 2.
Yeah, right?
Straight up, I only remember Logan every time.
Yeah, every time. The other one's being better now. Shoutouts to you. But basically, we're in a stable situation right now, and to switch that up for, like, committing to a 15 at minimum year mortgage or, like, other related housing situation is a tough sell.
It's a tough sell.
And I think especially where we are of, like, being early in careers and not having a lot of, like, freedom financially, it's rough.
It is.
Like, do I think 5 years down the line could I, like, buy a house, like, or, like, especially, like, if it was, like, 2 halves of a condo that I'd split? I could definitely see that happening. Does it happen this year? Probably not.
Yeah, no,
Unless,
this
like, we
year,
both hit the lottery.
I'm very okay with it not happening this year because I just don't think within the time frame we have, we could pull it off.
Exactly.
Like your lease goes until May, right?
My lease goes until May.
And then I have to leave where I currently am in June.
Yeah,
which
so
is
but
close,
like,
but like
in 2
that's
months.
so soon.
Yeah, that's in 2 months. We need to have enough money saved up and, like, be financially situated to start a mortgage.
Yeah, to be like,
Which-
hey, Mr. Bank,
Mr.
give
Bank.
me $300,000.
Yeah, which is rough.
Yeah. What is it? No, on a slight tangent here. My parents. I was like, I can hold it.
Yeah.
It is heavy.
Heavy mic.
Heavy mic. It is. No, but what is it? I send houses to Devon a lot because I'm looking for like places to rent because I'm gonna have to move out of where I am. Devon's probably gonna stay where he is, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I keep looking for places to rent, and then every now and then I'll also look at places that like actual houses because I think it's funny. And I've sent him a bunch of them, and one of them I sent to my mom because I thought she would like it, and then she asked me like within 2 minutes of her receiving it if I was buying it. and like just
It wasn't even that, like, are you buying it? It was like, so how much are you putting down?
yeah, it was like it was literally like, how much are you putting down? That's so like what are the other details? And I was like, there's no other details. I just think it's a funny house. Like I just think it's a cool looking house in a neat spot.
Like, most of the houses that Simon sends me are like, hey, look at this house. There's like one good picture on the outside, but if you scroll the ones on the inside, it's actually a garbage dump. Like there was
That's
the
not
one that
all of
had
them.
like bags of trash everywhere, or there
was
was
funny.
one where it was like, hey, if you look at the front and like the inside, it looks fine, but then you look at the backyard and it's like someone probably died here.
Potentially died, yeah.
Or there will be like really weird architectural choices, and it'll be like, why is this room this color? Why is this room strangely Marvel themed in a very normal house?
It's like, what is going on? Yeah, no, I sent him a lot of pictures. No, but I found one that was like, it was kind of nice. It was like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or I think it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, had a laundry room, had a nice big attic, and he had a 1-car garage. It was like nice.
It had a basement too.
Oh, it had a basement too, you're right. And it was finished, or it was half finished.
It was half finished.
It was half finished, which was kind of like the best type of basement to get, because then you can do whatever the heck you want with the non-finished side.
Right.
Workshop.
Workshop.
But
Not man cave.
not man cave. Workshop. I'm gonna do woodworking in there. I don't think I have enough woodworking skills, which is rough. But what's it called? But it was like nice. It was in a really weird location. It was on like a really main road. But like also like I can't afford it. Straight up, just can't.
Yeah, just can't.
Just can't afford it. Can't afford it right now.
Can't afford things.
I've got like $6 to my name. It's not true. I have a little bit more than $6, but like not enough to put down on a house. Because like, yes, I'm aware you can put down like lower than 10%. Is it lower than 10% that you have to get the insurance, or is it lower than 15%?
I think for insurance it's 10.
I don't remember.
It's somewhere around there.
It's somewhere around there.
Regardless,
can't afford it. Yeah, because what is it? I was looking at graphs and stuff because I look at stuff all the time because I'm like, how much do I really need to get a house? And it's like for the average down payment has gone from 15% at I think somewhere just after 2008, after the crash and stuff, like a little bit after it bounced back, it was like 15%, and now it's down to 7%. Which is crazy low, but
what is it? Because that also ties into my grandfather. I recommend his financial advice all of the time because it's insane, but also makes sense. Because like he grew up in that like post baby boomer, like had really good opportunities financially. Like he built himself up from practically nothing, and was cracked. Like he has 2 homes, retired to him and his wife at 55. Like insane. But his main thing was, like, you take a 30-year mortgage, which, like, the Dave Ramsey is, like, only do it if you can do 15. You take a 30-year and just pay it like it was a 15.
Yeah.
Because you just take less interest every month, but you also have to look for loans that actually will let you do that. Of, like, you can pay as much as you want, you just always pay double, and you put it all towards principal.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, it builds so fast. And makes it a lot easier, and like it takes a lot of stress off because it's like, what is it? My car broke down. I won't be able to pay that like double amount this month. Then you just pay half because that's what you're supposed to be paying anyways.
You just don't pay the whole thing. Yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah, because like the average mortgage is like around like $1,500 to $2,000, or not $20,000, $1,500 to $2,000.
Right. So
that you've got basically an extra like safety net of that per month. That if you need to, you can just not pay it. Because my current safety net or like my emergency fund is about $2,000.
Yeah.
Where it's just kind of sitting there. Where it's like, I'm not gonna spend it. It's gonna be the safety net. Blah blah blah. But yeah, then you just have double safety net. Kind of cracked.
It's like a really good strategy that I've like. He told me when I was like 8, and like I was like, okay,
sure, dude.
This was mostly because my parents were insane and decided to build a house from scratch because they thought it would be cheaper when they didn't have any money.
Do they have skills?
No.
Okay, I was just checking.
Like they hired people to do it, and I'm pretty sure only my mom was working at the time because my dad had like an accident because he worked in construction and like hurt his hand. So like it was wild that they decided to do that. Worked out technically.
Technically?
We got here, right?
Yeah, fair enough, I guess.
They now own the house. W,
I guess.
So like
fair enough.
Wild. But yeah, that's the current of why do I not already live in a house with Simon, and what are the plans going
okay.
forward?
Well, let's boil it down though. Would you?
Would I?
Would you buy? a
I
house with him?
think. So, like, would I buy, like, a single-family home with Simon? Probably not. But would I split, like, a multi-family home? Yes.
Wait. Okay.
Because, like, if,
I think I
again,
know
for,
what
like,
you mean.
15 years, it's like, at some point, I might have kids. Again, the economy's what it is, so that's
Kids
rough.
in this economy?
I've said that to people. They're like, do you think you're going to have kids? I'm like, in this economy? Probably not.
Probably not. They're expensive.
But also, like, do I want to have to send them to college and, like, have them go through the burden of, like, wanting to go to college when it's, like, gonna be, like, $4 million
Yeah.
to go to college?
Well, hey,
in
theory,
20 years.
In theory, who knows what'll happen? But like, yeah.
But,
no, I
like,
get you.
as of right now, like, the world's in such a state that I don't really feel comfortable bringing more people
yeah, no, I
into
get you entirely.
it.
I'm kind of in the same boat where it's like,
and-
ugh, that's
Yeah,
rough.
right?
That's rough. It's, like,
It's a rough thing of, like, I wouldn't want another one of me to grow up in that world.
Yeah.
Also, like, the planet might be on fire.
yeah,
by
who
then.
knows?
Like, who knows?
Literally, who knows?
But if I do decide to have kids, I don't. Not that I like wouldn't want like Uncle Simon there all the time, but more of
Yo!
like it'd be weird, and I wouldn't want to like dominate the space of like there's a toddler there. Please move your desk for a cradle. Like I don't know, but like it'd be weird to like
I agree.
force that on.
It would be weird. potentially.
But I think if like I got to the point of like, hey, we could split this multifamily home, and like when we want to hang out, we can. It'd be very easy. But also like we're not confined by the other space.
Well, see, that's the thing is like every now and then I'll see the ones that I'll see the houses that either have 2 kitchens, just like in general.
Oh, 2 kitchens also goes crazy.
Yeah, 2 kitchens goes crazy, but also where it's like it's set up where it's like you have your main house and then you've got like the ensuite for like what is it called?
Family guests or whatever.
Not family guests, but usually it's like for like it's usually set up where it's like you've got the main thing and then you've got like your parents
Yeah.
because they can't quite live entirely on their own, but they're pretty self-sufficient
Right.
just so they're so close. And so like it's like basically a whole nother setup, but it's just for like one family or like
Yeah.
just like the couple, like the mom and the dad or whatever, which is kind of interesting as like a concept. What are you looking at?
Oh, it's 42. I thought it said an hour and 57 minutes.
No.
And I was like, there's no
There's
way.
literally no way.
There's no shot.
No, but no, because like I see those every now and then. I'm like, kind of fired
That sounds like a really good concept.
because like I don't know, because I get the same idea. Because like whenever I talk about it, because I've talked about it like to my mom again.
Yeah.
I'll take it again. So the because I've talked about it to my mom before, where it's like I think it'd be really funny to buy a house with Devon, not only because it'd be like funny and I think I could live with Devon, but financially it'd be a really good decision. And then my mom was always like, well, what if one of you has like kids or whatever? And it's like, well, my thought is never there because it's like at that point, like that's just something that would be a conversation where it's
Yeah.
like at that point you'd have the conversation, you'd figure it out. And then if it's like, okay, maybe Devon wants to go off on his own or I want to go off on my own, and maybe we decide that like he how to allocate the actual house where it's like one of us gets it. And then it would be like in my head it's like, okay, you figure out a time frame, you save up extra capital, and then you would essentially assist with the initial purchase of the house or the second place,
Yeah.
and then you'd like figure it out from there. And it's like either I don't know, like your girlfriend has a job at that point,
Yeah.
and then like you guys can afford the mortgage or whatever happens. And it's like and it's be like I wouldn't just like one of us
Like,
decides to have
"Alright,
kids and then
well,
just like screw you, get out of here. Good luck,
Sorry,
bucko.
I'm having a kid.
Because it's like
Get out,
It's, so like I don't know. It's never something that crosses my mind because like I know that I'm not insane enough, and I know you're not insane enough to not have a conversation before
Right.
doing it. And then the other thing my mom always brings up is always like, you got to make sure your contract's good. Because like
Yeah.
I know that you won't screw me over, and I think you know that I won't screw you over. But having it written down where we can't screw each other over is also good.
I was gonna say, because also, like, especially, like, because when I was like, hey, I'm gonna move out and get an apartment with these 2 friends of mine, and my family was like, okay, well, money always breaks friendships, make sure you're, like, ready for that, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm too much of an asshole to let them get away with that. But also, I don't think they would, like, they have
It in them.
it in them to do this. Like, especially, like, Logan, I trust entirely to, like, if he was like, hey, I'm not really feeling it, he would just tell me instead of, like, dipping. The second one, I could see him being like, I don't really want to do this anymore, and kind of letting me know last minute. But that's a classic. And we've handled like situations similar to that before. And I think especially both of us are financially responsible enough to set up situations where we wouldn't screw each other over, but having it in a good writing format where it's not possible to do it on accident would be very good.
Yeah. And it's like, I understand like the want to do that.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I get you.
I understand where you're coming from.
I know where you're coming from. I know he wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, like I definitely wouldn't be like, I'm going to scheme Simon out of all of his money. No, no.
It's just I don't know. And like, I know Devon doesn't tell me, but I tell Devon my finances all the time because I think it's funny. I just tell him. I just tell him all my. I literally tell him. I could if I wanted to actually, because I use not sponsored, but it'd be really funny if I did eventually get sponsored. I use Monarch Money to track my finances, and you can actually add because it's designed for people. It's designed mostly for single users, but you can do it as joint users. So you can add family members, but also you can add a financial advisor where they get a limited time account and they can just kind of like look through it and do stuff. And then you can cancel it whenever, or it expires in like 30 days or 60 days or something.
That is extremely.
And no, but Monarch Money, I could literally just like make you because it's because you make houses for like your family. Like you can have like the main person, then you can have like the other people and stuff. So like whoever's like bringing in money, and you can track it as like a family and stuff. So like I keep joking about adding Bennett to it because it'd be funny to have like both of our finances in it. But I could literally just invite you to look at it straight up. I think I could do it. It'd be so funny. It'd be literally the funniest thing ever. But no, I don't know. I like Monarch Money. I'm not gonna expand on it anymore. It's just like a good.
That's fair.
It's $15 a month, which is like kind of insane. But also
oddly high for what it is, but also like,
honestly
not bad.
I just switched to annual, so it's only $8.99 a month. So I don't care because that's really good. Annually it's like $99 a year or whatever, but it ends up being $8.99 a month. But way better.
Yeah, that is significantly better.
But like I don't know, it's just good because the problem is that before it, I simply could not actually like track my money. I could not figure out a single way to do it. And they actually have a way that just like, because the way that they have it is that it's automatically hooked up to like, you would like sign in and you get all your like accounts in there. And then you just, whenever you pay for something, it appears and then you assign it, either it automatically assigns it based on like where you shopped, or if it can't figure it out, you just switch it. You just tell it. So it automatically does all your categories and stuff. It's very nice. Honestly, goated.
That is pretty correct.
It's goated. Every time I see the things for Rocket Money, I'm always like,
dude,
I'm always like, screw you, Rocket Money. I got Monarch Money. Screw you.
The whole like appeal of Rocket Money is like you can cancel all of your accounts from right here, and I'm like, that's not enough for me to download an app.
Literally,
I just, like,
it's like no, straight up. I'm like, how do you not know?
Also,
how do you not know?
Like the biggest example is like I had a Netflix account for 3 years that I didn't know about. How did you not know?
Literally, how did you not know?
Or like another one was like you had 3 Netflix accounts. How?
How? Literally, how?
You can't double up on emails.
Literally,
like, how? Like, how do you have that many?
How do you do it? Like, how have you messed up that bad? I don't get it.
Like,
I don't get it.
I judge people financially really hard. And the ads for Rocket Money always make me really angry.
Well, also the ones where it's like they can negotiate down your bills, and it's like, you just not have like, just find a different company with better rates. Like when I went,
like if you ever have to go to the place that you're like buying stuff from, mostly for like bills and stuff, if you ever have to go to them and be like, can we like push this down a little bit? You are like eating out of their hands.
Like that's crazy.
Totally destroy you if you have to ever do that. Like it's so much better to just switch companies, because it's like, hey, I want to come to your company, but your rate's like a little too high. They're like, well, we could push it down for you to like make it easier for you to do the switch.
And you're like, sweet, thanks.
And you're like, very cool. Yeah, like that, like you have no stake in that. But if it's like, hey, internet place, can you push down my bill like a couple bucks a month? They could be like, no. What are you gonna do about it? Leave?
Leave? You can't.
Like
we're Monopoly.
I was gonna say you already want to like come to us again.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. No, because what is it? It's like when I was trying to find a phone company, because I switched to Mint because there's all the ads for it. Mint sucks. Mint sucks ass. Straight up. I don't care.
Yeah. So like I am so sorry, Ryan Reynolds.
Your company sucks. You know why? Can't easily cancel. Straight up.
One can easily cancel. I've heard about that. It's really bad to cancel Mint, but also in our region, it just sucks.
No, it's bad. Yeah.
Like it is not designed. We're in the Northeast, and it's like really bad.
It's bad. I switched to Visible, which just uses Verizon, and it's $25 a month. And it's or no, it was $30 a month, and I got the free code to get it to $25 a month for the first 3 months, and then my code ended, and they were like, "Oh, by the way, we dropped it $5, so you just get to continue paying $25 a month."
That's goated.
And I was like, "Oh, cool!" And it's unlimited data, like normal.
Yeah, that's
like
great.
whatever. It's just
I am still like leeching off my parents.
no.
mobile
I was
plan.
doing that for a while. No, I get you.
And that's mostly because I was like, okay, I should probably switch off when I moved out. But then it was like, hey, you have an upgrade lined up to get like a free phone.
And you're like,
and I'm
never
like, okay, so I can pay my dad literally nothing because he's not paying for my line. Like, it's like $20 a month for my line specifically, and he already takes out money for the car payment because I'm under his car insurance.
Yeah, no, I get you.
And I was like, yeah, sure, you
I
can
pay
do
my
that.
own car insurance. It's so sad.
Yeah, that sucks. Like I also do, but like it technically goes through someone first.
Yeah,
and I
no,
don't have
get
to
you.
think about it, which is pretty crap.
Well, yeah, no, I have to pay. It's rough. I also have to pay car payments because I bought a new car. Like,
I'm
months
so
ago.
glad that I keep getting cars for like practically nothing.
I know, it's very- you
This
have a
is
weird
fun story of I got my first car for literally $1. And I'm still not entirely sure on like most of the details of how that happened. We just drove to like a vague family friend's house that I've never met before and haven't seen since. And they're like, "Here's this car that I took to work for like 20 years. It works great." And I was like, "Dope. Sure." And they were like, "We're gonna do this dollar exchange, just to put it on paper." It was essentially free. We just did the dollar exchange to like put it on
Yeah.
paper to make the transfer of
Yeah,
the lease
the
legal.
deed or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, which was crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and then the car pissed itself, and I couldn't drive it anymore.
But then you got another one.
Yeah, then I got another one that looks practically the same, but it's instead of a Honda Accord, it's a Toyota Corolla, which is the same
It's
car.
the same car.
They're both silver, like they look practically the same.
It's the same car.
Yeah.
That's so silly.
Yeah.
I got the mom van.
Mom van.
All right.
All right. Tangent aside, we got to get back into our
Did we that was the house question.
Yeah, that was a house
We're
question.
really stupid. Anyway,
Yeah.
last silly question for both of us. If you had to live in a fictional universe at all, any fictional universe, which one would it be? Devon, do you have an answer?
So I've like, so obviously everyone's like thought about this. I'm like, man, wouldn't it be really cool if I was in the Harry Potter world? Or
No,
wouldn't it
I
be...
haven't. I hate Harry Potter. Screw you.
So like, that's a generic example.
I know,
Like,
I know.
or like, wouldn't it be really cool if I was in Naruto or whatever?
Me,
Most
anytime
of
I read a manga, it'd be
real,
so cool.
it would be so cool. But then you're like, well, for one, the odds. You gotta think about the odds. Harry Potter, for example, it's like less than 1% of the world. Like it's a high school worth every
Yeah.
like 7 years
Yeah.
for all of England. And that also like pulls from like France and other areas. Like
Yeah.
that sucks. There's like
Yeah.
one wizarding school in all of the United States.
Yeah. it is
Canonically. Or like Naruto. You're not him. Like straight up, you are not him. You don't have Sasuke's plot armor. You're not Naruto. You're not the reincarnation of Ninja Jesus. Like, which is a real plot point, by the way. And I always hate to bring that up of like the end of Naruto.
rough. It's okay.
God, the war arc disappoints me so much. But anyways, you would probably like, you're lucky if you're Aruka in that situation, who is like an orphan stuck at Genin, who just teaches like 8-year-olds how to throw kunai for your entire life,
Kind of based.
which is like cool because you're not dead, but like, oh my god, most of them are dead.
Yeah.
And like, there's a lot of ones that are like, this is vaguely cool. Like, what is it? Black Clover. One person in the last like however long almost didn't get a grimoire. Everyone else does. Like, sure, your magic's not gonna be like crazy strong, but like at least you could levitate like farming utensil for most of you.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool. I still wouldn't want to live in Black Clover though. That's weird medieval stuff. I think Avatar: The Last Airbender is a very strong option.
Honestly, yeah. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that's a good one.
Like that one,
Even
like
if you're
just
not,
kind of popped
even if
in.
you're a non-bender, it's still based. Oh, would you go Avatar or would you go Korra?
So like, one, I like Avatar more.
No,
but like
yeah.
also Korra,
Like Republic City goes crazy.
Republic City does go crazy.
Like it does kind of go crazy. I
And
might change my answer to that. Republic City is too cool.
like it's so cool. It's like, because one, it has a really cool aesthetic of like vaguely steampunk.
Dude, Avatar steampunk is nuts.
It's so crazy. Because one, there's a chance of like you being like
A bender?
a bender,
That's
which
insane.
is so insane.
It's so cool.
It's such a cool universe to begin with. And I might like think of another one as we're having this conversation, because like there's so many like good, almost good options.
Yeah.
Like, cause one that people will like I don't know, like I said, like it's not good to choose like Naruto. Most of the time, you wouldn't choose Bleach. You're psychotic if you choose JJK. That's just like a bad option.
Just a bad option.
Because like either you're blissfully ignorant of the world around you and you thankfully don't know everything that's horrible with the world, or you are the unfortunate soul that does.
Yeah.
Like, the people who know about the power system in JJK are the losers.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Nanami. Rest in peace. Spoilers, I guess.
Is Nanami the...
He's the cool one with the glasses and
okay.
the 3/7.
I was saying the
power
only character that
in
I
the
care
suit.
about is the one that has the shortcut hair. The chick. I don't know what her name is.
Oh, the one with the...
Does she have an axe or something?
No, she has a hammer and nails.
It doesn't matter. Cool.
It's very
I've
ventriloquism.
seen like two.
Not ventriloquism.
I've maybe
Voodoo.
seen,
Voodoo
I've maybe
is
seen
the
two
bit.
clips, and it's both of them have been her, and that's like I'm like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, like she has a very
Neat.
cool power system. I'm so glad neither of us wanted to talk about Gojo. He's just a
I don't care.
twink. He's broken.
I've never cared.
What is it? Another one, like I wouldn't want to do 7 Deadly Sins. Like,
No.
that would suck.
That would bad.
That one is one. Sorry, I do love the show to death, especially season 1.
I thought you were gonna go for a bit and say especially season 3.
No, don't get me started on season 3. Oh my god.
I only watched the first two, to be fair. So.
Yeah, like the first two, for starters, the weird like 4-episode in between season 1 and 2. What was going on there? Like they just like tried to do like an anime original like 4-episode run, and I don't know what was going on there.
I saw it.
It was weird, and you shouldn't.
Okay.
It was kind of bad.
Noted.
But like season 1 and 2 were like okay, and then they're like, yeah, what if we like dropped all of our animation budget in season 3 for no reason? But also like you're either common folk who gets run over by demons and or goddesses or anyone else because you're a basic human, or you're an unfortunate holy knight who's getting constantly shown up by everyone around you who has main character plot armor. Like
Yeah. Rough.
again, it's a you're not him situation. Like Bleach.
Yeah.
You're not him.
Rough.
Fairy Tail, I think, is actually a good option. One, based, but also,
True.
but also the whole thing. That one isn't of like you're born with magic. It's a you always have options to learn magic.
Okay, I gotcha.
Which is cracked out of its
Yeah,
mind.
that's way better.
Like everyone has it initially. It's just like, yeah, you're not gonna be like Natsu or one of the Dragon Slayers and have that like you're sent from 400 years in the past kind of deal, or like you're not like Urza or whatever. But like Lucy, the technical main character of the story, is holder magic. She just picks up keys and makes deals.
That's based.
Like that's the whole bit, and I'm like that anyone could have done that. She's just better at it than most people.
That is
like,
crazy.
So like that, I think that's a good option. But I think Korra Republic City goes insane because you're either a bender or you just get to live in Republic
And that's
City.
so crazy. One time they get attacked by a mech.
Yeah, they do
The
get
world's
attacked
nuts.
by a
The
mech.
world's crazy.
And this is like what, like not even 50 years after like
yeah, not even. It's like
Sozin's
no,
comment.
maybe it's probably about 50 years.
yeah,
It's probably like
around
50, 60 years because Aang has grown up to be somewhere around that age and then died and then Korra grew up. So like it's been a bit. But like no,
Yeah.
Republic City goes crazy because it's just one second, give me this freaking thing.
there. Yeah, here.
Because so my so I'm gonna talk about Korra because I'm gonna talk about Republic City a little bit because it honestly good option. And then it's gonna be really funny when I talk about my actual choice, which is not even as cool at all, but I'm still gonna stay with it because Republic City has all the steampunk stuff like the zeppelins
Right.
and they eventually get biplanes and they've still got like power. They've got pro bending.
The fun cars.
And they've got the fun car, and they got pro bending, which is awesome. It's just a cool sport.
Pro bending is the
It's just-
coolest sport.
And then like lightning bending is now commonplace, so they use it to power the cities and stuff. Like it's crazy lore, and it's just so cool. And then you've also got the city of because like metal bending is now an actual like practice, and they've got like the metal bending city.
That goes crazy.
It's just
I
so
forgot
good.
about Metal Bending
There's
City.
dude, I've been thinking about. Honestly, I've been thinking about the cool lore of Legend of Korra for so long because like
Yeah.
it's just so cool because everyone's been
God, I
talking
wish
about.
Korra didn't she wasn't a bad person.
Well,
you
she
know?
is for a bit. I will defend that she is not a likable character, but she's a well-written character.
That's fair.
Because
Okay,
like
I'll
especially
take to
seasons
that.
3 and 4, like her character goes through a lot, and her like it makes sense for the story they're telling. Like it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But like her being easily unlikable is a slight flaw on the show, but also understandable that people don't like her because it's like the way that she acts and stuff, especially season 1 in the beginning.
Season 1 was rough.
Season 1 in the beginning is rough, and then season 2 is just poorly written in general. So like a lot of characters kind of get messed up a little bit, but not the point. Republic City goes crazy.
Republic City
But-
is so crazy.
Funnily, my answer was going to be I don't actually remember when this movie came out. Is it 1999 or is it 2003? Shit.
I don't know.
It's a Disney Atlantis movie,
Oh, that's
which
a
is
good
which is
option.
basically just steampunk again, but Atlantis this time.
Yeah.
So like, based like
Yeah.
I just think steampunk's cool, and like Atlantis is like even if I'm a normal person, I could like still get to it. Like I could like honestly, my thing isn't necessarily the want for like funny power or like insane like
world.
well no that's the thing is like I don't necessarily crave like the power or the I don't know like money or like an actual physical thing.
Yeah.
It's I so desperately want to be able to go on some grand adventure. And like 1920s Atlantis themed
would-
steampunk
yeah.
goes crazy.
That goes crazy. I think also
like it's just so fun.
a point in Korra's favor. There's so many options for like, cause like you talk about all like the Avatar side stories and stuff. There's so much going on. Like,
Literally.
you can go on an adventure.
You can just go on an adventure. I want to be able to go on an adventure, and I don't even care if it's like boring, normal, like
Right.
1920s time, or whatever. I don't know. It's probably like 1930s.
Oh, because it's
Atlantis.
Like, it's not during the World.
It's
War.
not during.
I
It's
think
not during the
post.
war. I don't think it's even during post-war because it's still like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But it's like very steampunky,
Yeah.
like old-timey fun time, and it's just I love. First off, that architectural style, and also steampunk goes crazy,
Yeah.
and then like,
But also the themes in Atlantis.
and then
go
Atlantis
crazy.
goes crazy. Atlantis is just such a fun one, and it's like the I just thirst for adventure.
Yeah.
It's just so
I would shake to
cool.
that. And that actually reminds me. I
Ooh,
thought
what
of
you
another
got?
one.
What you got?
So again, like, this is another like, oh, you're not him situation of like, and Simon's gonna hate me for this, but the One Piece world is cool, like inherently.
Oh my god, I hate you.
Yeah, exactly. So like Simon hates this, but like geographically, I think the One Piece world is very cool in that like you have the four main blues, and like odds are, like I would just be like South Blue running a bakery or like some shit because I'm not him. Like I will not be king of the pirates or whatnot. But like I wouldn't have a devil fruit. Like it's very rare that I know about hockey. Like there's like all these things that I wouldn't know about. But oh my god, like even just being in the Grand Line on a random island as a civilian is so cool.
Yeah, I agree. Like I know
Like-
enough about like I read the first 100
Right.
chapters. Like,
And like being
yeah.
able to switch like, hey, we need I don't know, like this specific fruit to make something. Like I don't know, like I'm running a bakery and I need a pastry.
yeah, it, like,
And I,
I need
like
strawberry.
yeah, so
I need strawberry.
but like you live on a winter island, so strawberries don't grow. You only have like the winter stuff. Take like a 5-minute boat ride right over there. Take your log posts with you. You can find a springtime or summertime island with strawberries, and then go back and you're like, yeah, but I actually also need pumpkin spice for this very strange pastry. 5-minute boat ride. You're in an autumn island, and that's so cool. Also, pirates.
See, the second you brought up One Piece, unfortunately, my first thought was, can I change mine to my own fictional one that I want to make? Which pirates and also kind of steampunk and also just cool as shit.
Yeah, shout out to that. I think it's episode like 3
It might be
of Simon's podcast where he talks about his
My
like
fa-
unfinished works in his specific like fictional universe, because that's dope and also almost One Piece.
it's not
but he-
almost One Piece. I thought of it before I even learned anything about One Piece.
But like
Screw you.
pirates are awesome, and
Pirates
that's
are cool.
the main thing here.
Honestly, yeah. Honestly, just pirates are cool.
Just pirates are cool, but also like fictionalized pirates, because like You know.
It happens. All
Yeah,
right.
I think we have to move on to our final question.
Yeah,
We're running a wee long podcast.
Well, we're running long. It's getting late, and also we messed up the first recording, like the intro bit, because
like
3 times, and it
And-
burned like 30 minutes.
True, and that is probably like, where?
It's like, bro, it's kind of cold now. All right, Devon, I have one final question for you before I talk about dinner. What in the world is the Shadow Realm in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Okay.
Straight up. Just
So-
what is it?
This is like kind of a weird question because depending on where you're or what point in the series you pick up Yu-Gi-Oh, it changes.
It changes?
It does. Because if you talk about like season 0 and the original manga that was created, for starters, it didn't involve the card game. That was something that was picked up after, cuz basically it was Yugi with his puzzle and his like evil spirit second personality Yami who shows up and is like, "You're mean. You're like cheating at this card game. What if I killed you?" And that's where season 0 comes in of like, hey, this guy cheated at poker. Now we're standing on the side of a cliff, and we flip over cards. If you lose, we cut your rope,
Crazy.
which is insane. And that they were called like penalty games or punishment games, and that's where that came from. Of like, if you lose everything.
Oh, okay.
And then we move on to like the main story where they had the Duel Monsters episode or chapter. I think it was a couple chapters, but basically they like introduced the Duel Monsters card game, which later became the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. Naming conventions are a little confusing in that first season, but basically what happens is in like the original version, it's like, yeah, if you lose this card game, you die. But then 4Kids was like, death. That's a lot for Timmy, who's 5 and just likes colorful cardboard. Maybe we Shadow Realm where they disappear. And that's also why like Yugi's grandfather in the first episode gets sent to the Shadow Realm, and then he's put in a hospital for the entirety of season 1. And everyone's like, but his soul's in the Shadow Realm. He was dead. Or really just like unconscious for a month.
Rough.
And like there's a whole scene in the first arc with Bakura and like Bones and the other guy that's also there next to Bones all the time. Oh, sorry, the two guys. It's like the Chad and the weird British guy who just like randomly died.
Dichotomy of man.
Well, it's like this one guy who's like stupid but has like pointy hair and is like, I am strong. And then there's also just a British guy who's like kind of inspired by Elton John. Like,
Okay, fair enough.
like he has the glasses, he has like the weird hair, and he kind of like has that like motif going on. It was weird. But yeah, the basic premise is the Shadow Realm is just death.
Okay.
And that's why a lot of the like the shadow games are you died if you lost.
You dead.
Like there's one season in Battle City where it's like we attached bombs to this the floor, which is a window. Could you imagine like a skylight?
Oh.
And it's like, yeah, so if you lose, we blow up the pane that you're on, like the window pane, and you fall into the Shadow Realm in heavy quotation marks. You just fall.
You just die. Okay.
And yeah, so that's what the Shadow Realm is. It's mostly just 4Kids censoring things. Classic 4Kids L, unfortunately.
Did it ever like become something else, or was it just always like that?
In like season 5, they tried to give it like real meaning of like, oh, in ancient Egypt where the card game originated, they would use real monsters, and when you died, you went to the real Shadow Realm. It was still kind of like just death, but like played up as more of like, ooh, fantasy death.
Ooh, lore.
And lore, and
Lore
like
death.
lore death. Ooh.
That's so fun.
And like stone tablets of the pharaoh. Like you died.
You died,
You
lol.
died, and 4Kids didn't want to say that you died.
That's so silly.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I've had this question and I know you would know the answer, and I've had this question for probably like 8 years.
Why are you just like?
No, it's
you
just
can
like
Google
it's one of
it.
those things where it's like I'm always like the Shadow Realm. I wonder what that's about, and I've just never Googled it.
Yeah.
But like then I knew you and you played Yu-Gi-Oh! Basketball, and I still would think like, oh,
I
like,
wonder what's going on.
I'm
with
like,
that.
I wonder what's on with that. I'm like, then I was like, the Shadow Realm. What's that all about? And I just don't Google it.
Yeah.
But I know you would know.
Yeah, and I did,
And-
and that's where we're gonna end our interview, which is a wild note to end.
It was
on.
just a stupid end note. But okay, here I'll
Yeah,
hold
let's
it for-
transition
I'll
into
hold it.
the end
So
segment.
the end segment here. It's now cold. Weather has shifted. It is the
Sun's gone.
sun gone.
Wind bad.
Wind bad, it cold, bro. But the main takeaway here is that I don't know what the heck I'm having for dinner. I think I might have to go. I can't go shopping. I can't leave.
Oh yeah, you can't leave.
Oh, I'm not going to expand on that at all. I can't. Oh, I'm going to have to figure out something then. I do have chicken in the fridge though. I could do like a breaded chicken thing.
You could do a breaded chicken.
I could do a breaded chicken thing. I could. Ooh, I might. I don't think Bennett likes chicken piccata though. The lemon one.
Oh yeah, probably not.
I don't think so.
Also, do you have like all the stuff for it?
I actually do have all the stuff for it for once, which is why I was thinking about it. Because I bought lemon juice the other day. Because I was like, oh, I kind of want to make that one of these days. And then I got the fancy rice, which I gotta have with the stuff. I got the fancy rice. I think I do have capers. I think my mom was, because my mom moved, right? And she was cleaning out the pantry. And she was like, oh, I have 2 things of capers. Do you want one of them? And I was like, why do you have two things of capers? What are you on? She also gave me like 18 boxes of like pasta. She gave me so many things when she moved. It was like, she just gave me food items. She was like, I made a box of food items that I don't need and you would like. And I'm like, okay, cool, I guess.
Yeah, right?
It was very silly. But no, I think I want to do a chicken-based thing tonight because it makes the most sense. And it's what I've got because I don't want to thaw meat. I don't want to thaw pork to like do something because I could like do that and then make chili, though chili would go crazy on a night like this. Because it is cold,
so
but
would chicken.
Yeah, chicken would also go good. I might actually just go. What was Bennett talking about earlier? Chicken in oven, breaded chicken, pasta.
I don't remember. Chicken parm?
Chicken parm.
Chicken parm.
Chicken parm. I might do chicken parm. That could be good.
That would be good.
That'd be really tasty.
I have
And I
chicken parm at home.
Ooh,
It's leftovers from work that I got from someone else, and I haven't opened yet.
That's really funny.
I might just never open it and not talk about it.
That's the most insane thing.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know,
so funny.
man.
What is it? The other day at work, I was in like the staff room
Yeah.
for lunch, and one of my colleagues just had 2 halves of 2 different pizzas, and he just had it on a piece of cardboard, and he was like, "I've got too much pizza. I'm putting it in the microwave, like just on a piece of cardboard in the microwave, like 2 halves of pizza. I only need 2 pieces." And he just puts it in the microwave and then just opens it up and it just starts walking around trying to just pawn off the pizza.
That's
it
such a good
it
bit.
was so funny because
So-
he has this tiny lunchbox and he like
Yeah.
unfolds it from the lunchbox, pulls it out. It's like it was like the goofiest thing.
That is so silly.
It was so goofy.
That reminds me of while I was at work, like the last 2 days, they're like Thursday, Friday. They're, hey, we have this pizza. Do you want some? And they like it was one person who ordered a whole pizza, and they're like, does anyone want some? Please eat some. I'm not gonna eat this. And I was like, sure. Like, and I had a couple slices, and I was like, it's 4, and we leave at 5. Why now? Also, you ate like an hour ago. You knew you weren't gonna eat this, and then they did the same thing except ordered it for lunch the next day, and like changed the toppings on the pizza. And I'm like, why?
What are you
Why
doing?
did you do this
What
again?
What are you doing, bro? That's so silly.
It was very strange.
That's the funniest thing.
Yeah. I have no plans for dinner. I think I might actually finally commit and make garlic knots because like I've
That's so
had
fun.
some in the fridge. Not the fridge, the freezer for so long, and I'm like, I need to make these at some point.
That is wind, bro.
That is so much wind.
That is so wind. They probably picked up. I'm gonna have to throw this through like a post-processing thing.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting process.
I might have to listen through this, and this was what, an hour and 13 minutes. Ay caramba.
Ay caramba.
Ay caramba. All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do chicken parm. You're gonna attempt garlic knots.
I'm gonna attempt garlic.
and we are
knots.
gonna have to walk all the way back.
all the way back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we walked into the woods for real this
We-
time.
We actually went deep into.
We're
the
actually in the
farther.
woods. And so let's see. I need to find the. I need to.
Where's-
I don't. Where's the mouse? Is
I don't know.
Oh, it's up to the top. I found it. Is that the stop button? I hope not.